Good morning. Welcome back to Mike and Mollie in the morning, minus the mic today. I'd like to introduce to you guys, by popular demand, our other partner, Bill Grabiel Jr. Hey, Uncle Bill, what's up today?
Not too much. I'm nervous.
You're
Good
nervous?
morning. Good morning.
We already talked about in previous episodes how the guys, as I call them, my dad and my uncle, get super nervous in front of cameras. So we're going to do our best today to try to make Uncle Bill feel comfortable. So this is your first time on the pod. I know you're super uneasy. So let's start this off very, very cash. Tell me, Uncle Bill is, what are you called, a parrot head? A huge Jimmy Buffett fan?
Yes.
And that's what they're called, the parrot heads?
Parrot heads.
Okay. What, in your opinion, is the absolute worst Jimmy Buffett song?
There isn't. They're all good.
Talk about this, a diehard fan. Are you and Aunt Jackie going to retire to Margaritaville retirement homes?
No.
She asked that, didn't she?
We will go somewhere that reminds us of that.
Hot and sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have to ask you a question. As a true Jimmy Buffett fan, did you know that Jimmy Buffett had a cameo in the movie Jurassic Park?
Yes, I saw it.
Do you know what he's doing? Do you remember?
I don't remember what he was doing, but I remember seeing him in it.
He was drinking margaritas, and when the dinosaurs got loose, he grabbed the margaritas and took off. Well, probably one of the best cameos ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, I remember him being on that, but I don't remember.
Didn't you have something happen to you one time when you were at Furniture Market in Las Vegas? Having to do with a cameo in a movie?
Yes.
Tell me about this.
Well, at the time, the floor covering market was in Las Vegas, and stayed a couple days. And on my last day, I thought I'd go to, I think it was the Venetian, and try to buy a souvenir for Jackie and Kate.
Okay.
And when you go to those markets, you kind of dress up a little bit fancier than you would typically do at work. So, I didn't have a suit on, but I had a sport coat and
It's looking
dressed
very
pretty nice.
GQ.
And somebody come up to me and said, "Hey, what are you doing this afternoon?" And I didn't know this guy, and I said, "What's it to you?" And he goes, "Well, we're filming a movie, and we need some extras." And I said, "Yeah, right." And I said, "What movie is it?" And he says, "It's Rush Hour 2, and we need guys that are going to look like they're gamblers at this casino." So I thought, well, I'm not doing anything. My plane doesn't leave until 10 o'clock at night. And he said, "Well, we'll be done by then." So I had already checked out of my hotel, had my bags packed, went to this hotel where they were filming this. They made me change my clothes to better looking clothes.
Did they give you those, or did you have to get in the suitcases?
No, they had a wardrobe.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get makeup done too?
Yeah.
No way.
And so we start filming, and I'm in the casino scene. And I kept asking the people in charge, I said, when's the scene going to get over? Because I got a plane to catch at like 10 o'clock. "Oh, no, there's not going to be any problem." Well, it went on and on and on. And needless to say, I stopped filming about midnight. I'd been there since before lunch. And I didn't have a hotel room. I missed my flight. I'd already called Jackie and told her all about it. And but anyway, I stood right behind Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan for like 6 hours. And at the 11th hour, they take me out of where I was standing and put some beautiful woman in a fancy cocktail dress in behind him, and you can't even see where I was at. But you can see the woman.
Too bad.
So
That's a lot of work. Did you get paid?
I got paid $300.
Oh my gosh. Now, what year was this?
I can't tell you when Rush Hour 2 came out, a long time ago.
Like the 90s, maybe? I don't know.
But then
Early
in the
2000s?
meantime, I had seen him filming the night before, so I kind of knew what was going on. But it was fun.
So, funny story. When I was prepping for today, our office manager, whose name is Josh, and I were working on talking points. And Josh said, I have watched that movie just at that one part like 75 times. And I've tried to pause it to find Bill, and I can't find him anywhere.
I can't even find it.
Yeah, but what a cool story.
That was fun.
Do you remember anything about the show that you went to, or did that overtake the whole weekend?
Oh,
in
I
Vegas?
don't remember anything about the floor covering show.
No. Okay, so Bill has been business partners with Mike since,
1974.
okay, and that's when you guys both went to work. Was that your first job? Did you have a job before the gray mill?
Not before the gray mill. After I graduated from high school, I worked one summer at Logan Sport Metal Culvert.
That sounds awful. Was that
It was
manual label?
It was terrible. Hot, making steel culverts.
That does not sound like a job for you.
No, one summer. Yeah, that was enough for me.
Yeah, I worked one summer at a water bottle plant for one of my dad's friends. My dad got me this job. It was awful. I was not meant to work in a factory at all. I didn't survive. So 1974, you and your brother start working for your parents. Do you have any like major takeaway memories from that era? Did they have to force you to work?
No. 74, I had graduated from high school. I'd gone to college for a year, come back. But before that, Mike and I cleaned carpet for the store.
Okay.
We went out actually and cleaned carpet using the host method, which we still sell today. It's a do-it-yourself thing, but we'd move the furniture, clean the carpet, and so we did that probably 71, 72, those whole summers.
If you've never heard of the host dry carpet cleaning method, it's fabulous. I had no idea that we've been selling that for that long.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's 50 years.
Over 50 years, yeah.
Wow. It's awesome. You can rent it through us. Call us 574-722-2215. Stop by and see us if you're interested in that. It's fabulous. It's a water-free cleaning method, and it works.
It's
pretty darn good.
A solid carpet cleaner.
So tell me, like, I know personal stories that you've told me through the years. What was it like, or what has it been like having a 50-year-long career with your little brother?
Well, it's been good. I've said this to him. I've said it to many people. I couldn't have asked for a better partner. There were some interesting times when we were younger that we had some disagreements on some stuff. And
You know, that amazes me because I've been in there like 16 and a half, almost 17 years, which I can't believe that. But I have never once in that time seen my dad and my uncle even have anything close to an argument.
well, we had plenty of them. Early.
Didn't you used to, when you and dad would fight, didn't you like go hide in flooring and that's how you really got into floor covering? Or were you always interested in the flooring side of
No, we would get in disagreements and, he would follow me around screaming or I'd follow him around screaming and the employees kind of disappeared. But, that ran its course. No, when Mike was always involved with scheduling the deliveries or delivering or working in the warehouse, and I was on the floor, and to get away from dad and mom, dad would always send me over to the floor covering department because he really didn't care about it or seemed not to care about it and pretty much give me as much rope to hang myself with. And, one thing led to another, and I'd get in trouble, and he'd reel me in. over the years, but that's how I got involved because he pretty much didn't want
He
to.
wasn't passionate
He
about
he
it.
didn't want to fool with it. Furniture, bedding, draperies. He was still always involved in the drapery window coverings.
I will say it's like one of the big when you're in a family business, you hear horror stories, and maybe you're out there watching us and you've been involved in a horror story, and the balance of responsibilities is probably majorly key to having like a kosher, cool partnership where you're getting along, you've got mutual respect, and that is going to be probably for the rest of my life. The biggest takeaway about you and my dad is that, again, I've never even seen you have an argument. You both come to the table with totally different thought processes, but the level of mutual respect between you guys, and I know that we know people, even just from our small town, that have had serious problems within their family business because of that lack of respect or that lack of balance in roles and responsibilities. And I think it's something that I'm going to look up to for you guys for probably the rest of my career. Sadly, I don't have a sibling or a family partner from the looks of it. What do you think? Do you think that obviously great relationship you have with your little brother is a big part of the success of the store and getting us, to be 73 years old?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the craziest memory that you can think of that happened between you and my dad over the last 50 years at work. We have a pretty big place. It's 16,000 square feet, so there's really easy to hide from each other.
It is, and that's a blessing, because when things did get a little tense, we had enough room to escape.
Part the sea.
Probably the craziest thing, and you guys are familiar with the store and the building, and what we call zone 3 and 4 has got 2 or 3 floors above it. And we always had trouble keeping glass in the windows. And the pigeons in the past were terrible. And they would continually fly into them, break the windows out, get inside, just make a total mess. And we had a little trouble trying to keep the windows closed up, and the pigeons would be in there nesting, and it was just gross. Well, anyway, we had a couple friends, and Mike and I went on a hunting party and exterminated the pigeons.
A hunting party at the store? I thought you meant a hunting trip.
No, and
you exterminated?
Yeah, and it was probably the craziest. And I will name names. I don't want to incriminate anybody, but John and Butch, we had a blast one summer.
Yeah, killing pigeons, huh? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to ask how. I can only assume. I know. And how many did you get? Was it like the hunt of a lifetime?
No, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Those pigeons still get up there to this day. I mean, if you own upper story buildings in old communities like ours, I mean, those pigeons are a pain in the butt.
Yeah, they're a nuisance.
Total nuisance.
That's probably as crazy as time.
I have never heard that story, so I love that. Yeah. That's a new one for me. Okay, we talked about this in the past with Mike. Crazy stories about people shopping for their pets at the furniture store or the flooring store. And I'm thinking of one in particular about a gal over in Peru shopping for her cat. And I think you have an add-on to that story, don't you? Because that gal ended up shopping for floor covering eventually.
Yes. And Mike made a comment that he had a customer that wanted a love seat specifically for her cat to get on to look out the window. And, and I shook my head and I thought, geez. But she said she wanted floor covering in this room before she delivered the love seat. So I go over, and Mike had told me that it was a tiger. And I thought, really? I said a tiger.
Like a tiger cat, like a tabby tiger?
He says, no, Bill. She showed me a picture. It's a tiger. So I go to this house. It's out in the country. And I pull up, and she's got what appears to be a cage, a pretty big cage attached to her house. So I knock on the door. She comes to the door, and I walk in, and we start talking, and we walk through the house to where this love seat's supposed to go. And before we get there, we walk through a dining room, and it was a big dining room. And she has got a 12 by 15 foot diameter, 8 foot high cage in her dining room.
In the whole dining room?
The whole dining room was a cage.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm thinking,
Where do you get that?
So I said, you do have a tiger then? Oh yeah, you want to see it? So we go outside, and she's got this tiger in this cage that's attached to her house. And just imagine when you go to the zoo and you see these tigers at a distance. I'm like an arm's length from this tiger. It's got a head, is giant. It's probably 7 or 8 feet long.
And it's not at the zoo.
And it's not at the zoo. And I could reach through these bars.
And lose your arm really quick, probably.
And she brings it in, and she puts it in this cage, and every once in a while she lets it roam the house, and it lays on this love seat so it can look out into the pasture.
That is insane.
No,
she keeps it loose too. Now, Tippi Hedren used to have a pet tiger.
She'd got it from...
No, not a tiger, a lion. Tippi Hedren had a full-grown adult lion.
She got this from the circus years ago over in Peru.
Yeah, the Peru circus is still a thing. If you've never gone this summer, I think it's like their 65th or 75th anniversary. You need to go.
It was nuts.
Well, that's cool that it was a circus animal and she adopted it. Mm-hmm. And it's living out its retirement in the best way ever.
And I was there, that's probably before your time, so.
No, it was right at the beginning of when I started there.
And I have never seen her again. She was an old woman. She told me that she took it on walks. And I thought to myself, if you take this animal on a walk, she goes, I use a log chain, but if a deer run across the lane or a rabbit and that tiger decided to take off, it would have
been loose in Peru, Indiana.
Yeah.
Could you even imagine if you were driving down a road and saw a little old lady walking a tiger? I'd crash my car. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. Okay, so that's hysterical. I hope she's still around. Tiger lady, we love you at the Gray Mill and Gray Beals Carpet Plush. You have given us some of the best laughs through the years thinking about your pet.
Yep.
For sure. Okay, so we're gonna switch over. So your expertise and how you've always described to me, my dad, Mike, would take care of the majority of furniture needs, buying inventory, putting it out, scheduling deliveries, dealing with those customers, and you favored floor covering. So for 50 years, you've been a floor covering specialist. What has been your least favorite flooring trend over the course of your career?
The least favorite was always one of the most challenging, and that was when Berber carpet came in to popularity, they had crazy designs.
Oh yeah, like 3D effect.
And it made for a super challenging installation. Now, the carpet, if you got a good Berber, it wore forever, but it was very challenging
I bet.
to install.
To match the nap and the pattern. It's unbelievable to me how well those old Berbers wore. Why did they wear like that?
Well, first of all, they had ample, heavy face weights. Today, a good Berber is going to have 30, 35 ounce face weight. Years ago, I mean, our best sellers were 50, 55
Let's
ounce.
talk about this for everybody watching. If you're shopping for floor covering, a face weight is a super important, simple way that you can kind of gauge quality and durability on your carpeting product. What is face weight? The layman's explanation.
That's the amount of yarn that you're actually walking on it, not the total weight of.
Within a square inch, correct? Or a square ounce?
I think it's a square foot.
A square foot, okay.
And like I sold some today and it was 35, and I thought that was about as low as I'd want to go. The market, it goes down into the high teens, and it looks pretty. It will clean up. It just doesn't perform.
So your lifetime, the lower the face weight, the shorter your life expectancy is going to be.
If you've got any traffic at all, you are not going to get the performance that you want.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to write that down real quick because we'll revisit that. Carpet is actually having resurgence. We just had that talk last week.
Yeah.
For the last, what do you think, 10 years, carpet has been dropping carpet sales and purchases pretty consecutively. Do you think it's been 10 years? Pretty much since LVT came out into the world.
I wouldn't say 10, but it's slid for the longest time to the point where, I would have my padding vendors where I'd buy my pad from call me up and say, why aren't you ordering any pad? Are you mad at us? Are you buying it from somebody else? And I said, we're not selling any carpet. And it has really, in the last year, has really changed around, and we're selling gobs of carpet.
That's great to see carpet having it come back. The industry used to say it was because carpet held allergens and people don't open their windows anymore and get fresh air, and they're not going outside anymore because our lifestyles have changed. But it's been really refreshing. From everything that I read and see, it seems like consumers and homeowners and even renters more and more are just they're going towards more traditional decisions in their buying. And carpet gives us that soft, homey, comfy feel. And I think that again, that's kind of trending in the home furnishings industry is the biggest reason why. Carpet can be extremely cost effective typically. It depends. When you look at a high quality carpet with a high quality pad, I've quoted some stuff that they're pretty even when you compare an LVT product.
Material-wise. But to get them on the floor, the installation of carpet is still less money than installation of luxury vinyl tile or hardwood floors or ceramic tile. So the material costs are just a little bit less than those items, but to get them on the floor is definitely less because the installation cost of that product, the carpet, is less money.
So talking about installations, over the course of your career, have our installation guys ever found anything super crazy in someone's home during install? Like jewels in the wall or something like that?
No. What was, it's not so much as common as it used to be. But years ago, you'd take up carpet and pad, and underneath the pad, a lot of people used old newspapers for added insulation and stuff like that. And we'd find some interesting,
Cool old newspapers.
30s, 40s
Yeah.
ads that you could see what was happening.
When we were doing the flooring, we recently just redid our entire flooring store. Kind of in anticipation of Mike and Bill retiring here in the next couple years. We were just getting some renovations done, so they were off of my plate. And our building that our flooring store is in is about, from what I can tell, at least 130 years old. And we pulled everything up. We had all of our racks out of the way, and we got down and around all of the walls. The floor on one side of this space was rotten. And John and I found a penny that we assume had to have been down there since the year it got dropped down there. And it was like 1939 penny. It wasn't worth anything. I spent like 20 minutes on the internet trying to make sure, but dang it. I was hoping my ship was coming in over this penny. Okay, so we also, another thing you just mentioned, and this is going to be pretty interesting to get your reaction to this, is you just in passing mentioned hardwood floors. I found this article 2 months ago. I've been saving it for you just to get your reaction. You played basketball when you were growing up, right? Mm-hmm. Are you still into basketball? Did you watch the Pacers last night?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty disappointing. Yeah. So a German company is working extremely diligently to replace the traditional hardwood basketball court floor with fused layers of safety glass and LED panels. What do you think about that? You're a big traditionalist. So they're gonna try to change the game of basketball literally by, instead of using hardwood for a basketball court, they want it to be glass. And you know why? So they can project advertising, branding, logos, and things like that onto it. Yeah. What are your thoughts about this? Being a basketball player too. I think it's awful.
Initial reaction is not a fan. Baseball should be played on grass. Football should be played on grass. The word hardwood, hitting the hardwood is a basketball term. So not a fan.
For the life of me, I personally think we are literally bombarded with so much advertising all the time. Why do we need this? Just another layer of aren't we supposed to be watching a basketball game too? Are we supposed to be watching basketball or ads? I hated this. I think it's awful. I cannot believe for the life of me that there's technology that exists that apparently they can match the density of a hardwood court to the density that this glass is made in, so the ball behaves the same and the players behave the same. Technology is just insane to me. But they apparently have been using this. There's courts in the NBA, and they're also using it in some spots in Europe already.
Yeah, that's crazy. I hadn't heard a thing.
Hadn't heard a thing. I know. All those long hours on the internet for me doing research for the show. Okay, so, talking about hardwood, what's your recommendation for the highest quality, longest lasting floor available to a homeowner today?
Well, ceramic tile, goes back to Pompeii and before. Mm-hmm. So good ceramic tile or stone. But there's a lot of I's to dot, T's to cross to get that done properly. Hardwood floors, good, and just like in any category, there's some inexpensive, cheap hardwood floors out there, but good engineered hardwood floors have got to be a consideration. Of course, in Indiana, for so many people, a hardwood floor isn't a hardwood floor unless it's 3/4 inch solid, which is not the fact, but we still sell a lot of 3/4 inch solid hardwood floors. Last 3 or 4 jobs have been that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just had someone in last week, and that was all they wanted to see.
And good good laminate and good LVT. And again, as in every category, they've taken the guts out of a lot of this stuff. And for the casual buyer, if you look at the visual, they can make a laminate floor and a LVT floor look pretty good visually. If you don't investigate, who's making it, the wear layers that are involved, you get a cheap floor.
Is anybody making flooring in the States these days?
There's still a lot of, the majority of the carpet that we're selling, we've got a line down there, the wool stuff that we're selling, that you're selling a lot of, is made in Europe. But most of the carpet that is sold today is still made in Georgia.
How about hard surface? The pandemic made everything super kooky for the flooring manufacturing industry for a while. What in hard surface can you find?
The sheet vinyl that Armstrong and Mannington make, that everybody over 40 has had, and we still sell it. That's still all made in the United States. The LVT, the majority of the LVT that we sell, that is sold around, is still made offshore.
I think we have 2 collections of luxury vinyl products that are from the U.S.
Yes. They're trying to bring back some of the technology. So a couple of the companies have done a pretty good job.
How about hardwood?
A lot of the hardwood is made in the United States and Canada.
That's what I thought you were going to say, Canada.
We do have some, though, that are made in Europe, and some that are made China, Vietnam.
Not very much Chinese products left, though. Everybody's kind of pulled out, like Mass Exodus style.
Yeah.
In the floor covering industry. Have you heard anything about any price increases this year with all the tariff stuff?
Yes, there's they're saying things that will be affected or are going to be affected in July. Haven't seen any price increases. Have seen many letters from many vendors that say that they are going to go up. That's another kind of good reason to reconsider carpet.
Exactly. So we're going to change the topic just a little bit. We talked about product. Let's come back to the family. Do you remember Grandma and Grandpa opened this store, our store, before you were born? Do you have any early childhood memories of them going to work, coming home from work, being down at the store?
Not at the store.
They didn't never let you guys in? Were you
No,
hellions or what?
We had an opportunity, but I don't remember. I mean,
did Aunt Linda babysit you guys while they went to work?
Yes. And I do remember when we were down on 13th Street, and this is when Mike and I were at St. Vincent, and we would walk from St. Vincent School to the 13th Street store, which is right across the street from the old high school. And Jerry's Pizzeria was our neighbor.
Really?
And
that's how you guys all became such good friends, probably, huh?
Well, no, they were our neighbors down on Erie Avenue.
I knew that. I knew that.
And I remember when Jerry built his new building over on the west side, we took over that side.
Okay.
We moved into his space. And where Mike and I had to hole up after school was where the pizza ovens were. And seemed like forever. It always smelled like pizza.
This is why you guys are so obsessed with pizza. Is that why my dad is?
I don't know why.
He's an addict.
No,
he's a pizza head.
3 or 4 ingredients, and he's got volumes of cookbooks on how to make pizza dough.
Yeah. So, side note, Mike has an entire library. We call it the den at my parents' house. It was my brother's old bedroom. All cookbooks. It's like 4 giant bookcases of cookbooks. And my dad's happy place is sitting in there amongst his cookbooks. I think he'd write his own by now. Maybe we should tell him to do that. What are the perfect toppings for a pizza? Mike and Bill often make homemade pizza. So what are your perfect toppings for your favorite pizza at home?
Italian sausage, pepperoni, fresh tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, basil.
Simple. I love it. Do you make your own mozzarella ever?
No.
My favorite pizza ingredients, but I do not do the homemade pizza. I should try to talk Dad into doing this. Pepperoni, banana peppers, and bacon. It's fabulous. You need to try it. So, did any of you guys, like Aunt Linda, ever work at the store when you were growing up? She never has mentioned that she ever did.
No, she was in charge of us. That was her job at the Gray Mill, is take care of us while they
She
were.
probably didn't get paid either, did she?
I don't know.
I'm sure she didn't. So you've had, as we talked about, 2 jobs in your entire career. One was really short-lived. Nowadays, and Dad and I actually talked about this last week as well, you know, so often we're going through hiring and going through resumes and applications, and we see people that have 5 jobs a year, 7 jobs a year. What's it like as you reflect back on your work career to know that you had that kind of job security? Of course, you made that for yourself by doing so great at what you did. Do you have any regrets about just having one job?
Oh, early in the career, you'd go to these shows, and you'd have to go. The one that I remember the most was going to the Merchandise Mart in Chicago. And we'd have to go, or if we had the opportunity to go, June and January, and gotten to the point where we had gone with Dad enough times to where we could go by ourselves, and to see all those people in all of those stores and the cash register just going, I thought, man, it'd really be neat to have a store in a big city.
I know. I still think that today.
And I look back and think, man, I am so glad we didn't pursue that.
The workload would have been so much more.
It has always been, there's always been enough work.
Yeah.
And it always interested me enough to where I just never got tired of it.
One of my favorite things that you ever said to me in my career so far, and you guys just so live this, they are all about friendly competition. And a lot of business owners really get hung up on that. Like, you know, oh, my competitor. No. But you said to me, there's enough living rooms for everybody to have a great life. And I thought that that was like just like a stellar viewpoint of your competitors. And the next sentence was, when we have competition, it makes us stay at the top of our game. And it always keeps us doing our best and trying our best and being our best. And I, just as a young person, I watch a lot of people go out and whether they own existing businesses or they bought existing businesses or they're opening a new business. And not everybody has that mentality. So it's a blessing to me that you guys really both instilled that in me, but you also live and breathe it. There's enough living rooms to go around.
And I just got to clarify that good competition.
Yeah.
You know, competition that has similar values. I don't think they got better values than we do. But there are people out there that are unscrupulous, take advantage of people, and that put a black eye on retail or
For sure.
So
We were really blessed in Logansport in the furniture and the floor covering in the family owned shaping, I would say, that we've been very blessed to have great competition.
No, there's it,
Stand up folks, stand up businesses, a great variety of products for our community in both the flooring and the furniture. And nobody was doing anything underhanded, and it gave our community these really fabulous shopping options, which is awesome. So I just got a horrible piece of mail actually the other day. And this is about a big box competitor of ours in the orange and white branding. I'm not going to say their name out loud, that they are now getting into furniture. You know who I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I was disgusted by that.
Well, still the biggest retailer of furniture is Walmart.
It's amazing to me. How do you even call it furniture?
Well, let them do what they do. I couldn't be happier with where we're at in merchandising and where we're at in the marketplace. If you want respectable, decent furniture, floor covering, bedding, with options that go along with that, and a good value and good investment, I don't think there's a store in 70 miles that's any better than the Gray Mill and Gray Bill's Carpet Plus.
I agree. We've worked really hard on that too. And I think the word value is probably the most important one because, it may not be the cheapest product on the block, but what do you get back in terms of that investment that you make in the years that our products are going to last? Like one of my favorite compliments that I get, thankfully still to this day, and I had a couple in Walton that I did a buku window treatments for them, and they re-carpeted their entire downstairs. And she told me, I still have a bedroom set that my parents bought for me when I was 16. And she's in her 70s. And that pride that I get that we're still, 60 years later, selling that kind of quality heirloom pieces to people is pretty awesome.
Well, one of the things that I like to say to customers, and again, Mike and I have been doing this for a long time. We kind of know what's on the market. And I just tell them, I'm paying for this product before you're paying for it. I want my money's worth out of it. I'm not going to pay a penny more than I have to. I want the best stuff for the sharpest price. And I think that's good advice.
It's huge. It's huge. And it's like such a big part of our core values too. So it's not even a gimmick. It's in our value system. Okay, so now we're going to end things out. This is really quick. We don't need to get too into it. I want your honest take on modern trends. So this is Bill's take on modern trends, and these are going to be focused in the floor covering industry since that's your expertise. Okay? The good, the bad, the ugly. You're either going to love it, you're going to hate it, or you're going to think, oh, I don't really care about that. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, so our first trend, and you may not even be aware of this. I think I mentioned it to you. There is a humongous push on the internet, and it is a do-it-yourself trend where they are painting over ceramic tile instead of replacing it. Backsplashes, floors, showers, countertops, all of it. Tell me what you think of that.
Certain applications, you could do it and get away with it. Walls, backsplashes won't work on floors in a wet area. I can't see it performing. And I can't see paint being abrasive resistant enough
to not get scratched and stuff
on floors.
What would you do if you walked into a house and you could tell that they'd painted ceramic tile?
Well, I remember years ago for people who wanted to change countertops and couldn't afford it, there was a product come out on the market that they painted their Formica countertops. Crash and burned. Like I say, on the walls, On a backsplash, I think you could make it work.
Places where there's nowhere,
Correct.
pretty much. Okay, parquet. Parquet is making a comeback.
Parquet might be making a comeback. Herringbone on the floor in wood and other products, especially wood, is really popular.
Stunning. Herringbone hallway in hardwood or LVT, absolutely stunning.
And, you know, parquet is just really good, traditional, live forever. You might not like it after 20 years, but it's still going to perform.
Yeah, it's making a full-fledged comeback in traditional spaces. Another old school flooring that has had a huge resurgence is terrazzo.
You know, that's a specialty item. We never got involved with that. Had a real good friend that we made over the years, Cassini over in Lafayette, Cassini marble and terrazzo. And he did schools and churches and stuff. We never got involved with that.
Gosh, that stuff is so heavy duty. I can't even believe it.
The LVT people have attempted to recreate that visual. So, yeah.
It's also in ceramic tile. If you don't
That's right.
have a local professional to put a true terrazzo floor in, you can get I would call a knockoff visual in ceramic and porcelain that are pretty realistic, nice looking. I like the terrazzo look. I don't think it would work for my home particularly. Okay, so textured area rugs with highs and lows. You've seen them. You've seen them in the books. We sell them all over Furniture Market. Almost 3D. That's how much.
Yeah, and you know, we've tried them visually. They haven't
It's not a. It's
taken off, and
I don't think it's a Midwest thing.
yeah, for rural.
Shag, my favorite.
Well, it's never gone really out of style.
It never has.
It's not as popular as it was when, you know, back in the early 70s.
Did you sell shag in the flooring
yeah.
department? Did you sell shag rakes?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Brushing my hair is enough. I couldn't imagine brushing my carpet.
Fluffed it up.
Okay, the return of squares to the shape demographic of ceramic tile. Squares are coming back. I don't know if you've quite noticed it yet in the tile department.
They might be starting to come back. Rectangular 12 by 24s.
Still the Lord.
18 by 36s. Still driving the selections.
Small squares, big squares, very big squares.
I like them.
I do too, actually. Patterned tile. Tile with pattern printed on it.
It's been, you know, reintroduced.
You mentioned Pompeii earlier. Patterned tile, especially hand painted, which we don't have a lot of, but a finish that's been around for thousands upon thousands of years.
Again, certain applications are appropriate. People ooh and all, it hasn't been a very good seller for us.
I'll tell you, I agree. I show it often, but nobody is interested. In my favorite application that I've ever used pattern tiles on was when we did the riser of
Beautiful.
the stairs.
Cool.
Paired with a matching carpet. And it was so stunning and spectacular and took a regular old staircase and like shot it to the moon. And like, so just remember, don't take something at face value. You work with a design professional, come see me. If you want a really big bang for your buck, all of these ideas and trends can really be used very sparingly to get a really awesome outcome in the end. Okay, so the last trend, and this is going to be really interesting for you because you've seen both of these in your career. For many years, the hardwood and LVT industry has been very oriented towards the wider planks. I'm now starting to see the trickle effect from the internet and the socials of small format planks again. 2-inch wide wood planks. That's if you're from the Midwest and especially from Indiana and you own an old home or building, I guarantee you have 2-inch wood somewhere in your house. So they're starting to really see that trend pushed online. Small planks again. What do you think about that coming back?
I like the visual. Some of the houses on Broadway, Market, North, and High have got 1 inch.
Yeah, that's old, isn't it?
That's old. The installers will hate you because it takes twice as long to put in 5 courses of 1 inch plank as it does to put in a 5-inch plank.
I would have never thought of that. It'd take longer.
Yeah, so the installation is going to go up. But, what goes around comes around.
It's true. I'm getting to the area in my career, sadly, that it's circling.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's every 20. It's looking to me like it's about every 20, 25 years.
Color, style,
Yep.
pattern. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer for some colors, but like at Furniture Market, as we talked about, so many colors pulled from the 70s and the 90s, and they're just like kind of fresh updates of that. Even in fashion. You going fishing today? I love your shirt.
No, this is a fun shirt.
It was a fun shirt. So tell me, what was your thought your first time on the pod? How did it go?
A lot easier than I thought it would be. You're a good guide, Molly.
Well, thank you very much, guys. If you're a Bill fan, let me know what you want us to talk about next. We'll be having Bill on about once a month moving forward. If you're looking for floor covering for the interior of your home, he is the area expert. So make sure to check us out, visit us in store, check us out online, or give us a call. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day, Uncle Bill. I'll see you tomorrow at work.
Thank you. So long.